In this video we're going to take a look at setting up a Raspberry Pi for the first time. This Raspberry Pi has been ordered without an SD card, and I'm going to show you how to install an image on this for the first time. As you can see, the screen in the background, it's tried to boot up and it's unsuccessful because there is an SD card missing from the Raspberry Pi. Once you have connected power to your Raspberry Pi, the next thing to do is to install the operating system. And luckily, there's a nice tool on the Raspberry Pi website. So if we have a look here, I've typed in Raspberry Pi software into my search engine, and it's right at the top. There's a nice video here that shows you how to use the tool, but this is the imager we're going to use. So we'll download the Windows version. Once you've downloaded the imager, you'll get this exe file here. So to install it, you need administration privileges. Once you've got your SD card or your micro SD card plugged into your computer, ensure that the write protect is turned off. We need to then use the Raspberry Pi imager to download the image. Now you can see here the default is a 32-bit operating system, but a really nice tool is a database engine, and one that's free is called InfluxDB, and the new version of InfluxDB has some nice features to synchronize your database on your Raspberry Pi or your PC, whatever operating system you've got, to the cloud. And there's a new front end for that requires a 64-bit operating system. So that's what we're going to change this to. And there's two versions. You can have the one without a desktop, which is a smaller download and requires less memory, and then you've got the one with a desktop. Because we're new to this, we want to make our life easy, we'll keep the Raspberry Pi desktop version. SD card we've got selected, and then under settings you can start changing things like your password. You can enable SSH for things like remote terminal communications, and then you can set your username and password so you can log in via remote terminals. And then under configure wireless LAN we can go down here and we can set the login so the Raspberry Pi automatically connects to your Wi-Fi. Click save, and then we can write that to the SD card. The first thing it's noticed is there's some data on that SD card, so it's asking whether we can erase that and format the card. So you can see here that I've encountered an error. So the program is trying to communicate to this IP address where the image is located, and I've got some sort of error message. Do I understand it? Probably not. It's annoying, but let's see if we can work our way around this. So if we go back to the website, the other option you've got is to download the image and put that on manually. So here's the website where we downloaded the tool from. We can see here all product options, and then Raspberry Pi 64-bit, and when I click on my 64-bit I can see here, which is quite nice, the different versions of Raspberry Pi that this is compatible with. This version here is the desktop version, so you can see here this is 784, and the version without a desktop is 284 meg. Well, we've got a 32 gig card, so this is not a concern. So download this and then return to the Raspberry Pi imager. So when you select your operating system, you'll see at the bottom that you've got a custom image. Now this is quite nice if you've got an image where you've done a lot of work and you've got, you've already installed things like InfluxDB, Grafana. You can back the image up just in case everything goes wrong. You've got a nice backup. But we're going to use this, and there is the bullseye image that we've downloaded. We'll select that. SD card. The settings are still the same. Okay, and then we'll write that to the SD card. So this is the message that you'll get. Now the image has been written to the card, and we will install the card into the Raspberry Pi and see what happens next. So remove the SD card from your PC and insert it into the Raspberry Pi, and this version is Raspberry Pi 4, and it's underneath. Just be careful when you're moving this around. It's quite easy to catch that SD card, so I would advise, unlike me, to get a case to put this in. Once you insert the card and apply the power, it will build the image onto the Raspberry Pi, and as you can see there, it will launch the desktop and connect to your Wi-Fi. So we're now ready to start connecting this to a remote terminal and installing programs such as Node-RED, Grafana and InfluxDB.